Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network in conjunction with Clear Production Sports. I am the Midnight Rider. That is the Boss Man B. That is the big guy KG. And we are here on a Friday Eve. And you know when the three of us get together, there's one thing on Friday Eve that everybody says: Thursday night throwdown. Yeah. What's going on, guys?
I feel so slighted. I really do. I feel this move to Thursday, I'm gonna have to talk to my lawyer because like this ain't or my agent, because this ain't working out for me. We formed a super team and it ain't working. I'm KD, I want out.
Damn, already?
Ain't that how it is? It's that quick with him.
It's only the second week.
Hey man, I've if I had smaller shoes, we would have been in the East Finals. So
oh man. We might have to cover that too, speaking of Nets, but we might cover that and wrap it up. But good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. As the Midnight Rider said, I'm the big guy KG, the boss BJ, Midnight Rider down bottom. I mean, we are here. We are the People's Podcast. Let's not even.
Time out. If we're negotiating, I need to negotiate a good square, because every show I'm in the same square. Like the squares don't rotate or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You want the squares to rotate?
No, don't do it now because I said something. I want you to mean it.
But hold on, wait. This the same cat. We put him in another square, man. What you doing? Why you put me in this square? I want to go to the other square. I'm always at the bottom.
Why can't we change the layout? There we go. Bam! Oh, gosh. I mean, we can change this entire thing here. Like, we can make this work.
Now he's happy being here on Thursdays now.
Look at that. Right, can we move this over?
Let's go back to the
Put you right in the middle. Sandwich.
Go back to the Omaha on the Audible. Omaha.
We auto went out of that. That was quick.
Oh shoot. Fellas, the NBA playoffs are heating up. One series is already over. In the East, the Boston Celtics did not play around. They win the series 4-1 over the Cavaliers. Boss BJ, you said something that I would like for you to address about this series and Donovan Mitchell. So the floor is yours.
So I just said in the chat.
Oh. Is this like his own thing? Like, is he getting? Like,
I don't have like a intro coming in or nothing like that. No music. No theme music.
KG?
I mean, my theme music could be at least playing, but I don't even have that. So it's like,
well, we got you.
You keep talking, man, and you shut the fuck up, huh?
Man, see how I get treated?
Well, I mean, that's your creation.
Oh my God.
That's your theme music. Okay, you know what? Since the boss BJ, local alum, go ahead and play his theme music.
That's a whole nother
Ladies
show.
and gentlemen, the boss BJ.
That's a whole nother show. All I'm saying is, and this is something we've said on the show. Oh, I've said that I won't put the guys into this. I'll let them speak for themselves. But it's a playoff. Sometimes you gotta fight through injury. I didn't like that. And I'm not saying he's not hurt or anything, but Spider Mitchell being out the last two games affected this. So this is why Boston was able to dispatch Cleveland so quick. And like I guess some guys have it, some guys don't. It's just like that wrap it up mentality and let's go. Let's do it. Even if it's even if I'm 70%, 60%, I need to be out there on the floor. And I just he lost me with that. Like he could be. I'm not questioning the validity of his injury. I'm just saying it's the playoffs. This ain't the regular season. This is the time to wrap it up, put some ice on it, take some shots, throw some of them horse pills down, and get on the floor and try to beat Boston. You took one in Boston, and then the last game? Marcus Morris, one of the Morris brothers, was leading them into halftime scoring. Like, you're losing. You're losing that game, and there ain't no questions asked. If a Morris brother is leading you in scoring, besides the first basket, them getting the rebound and putting it back in, you're losing that game. So that's all I'm saying. It's just I thought Cleveland could have put up a better fight if Spider Mitchell was on the floor, and it has me thinking: it's sad to think like this, but is it something else underlying that he didn't like, and he just like, I'm gonna take my ball and go home, type thing? Midnight Rider.
Oh no, I'm not raising my hand. I was waving by because that's what Donovan Mitchell doing to Cleveland. Because he's not gonna be there next year.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just like, did he hurt himself? And he's like, well, I'm not gonna be here next year, and I'm gonna just save myself for my next team. That's how I'm taking it. I'm not taking it as I don't want to put words. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth.
No, but I mean, so there is, I am, I guess, the correspondent for us when it comes to all things Cleveland. There is talk coming out of Cleveland that Mitchell has been upset with teammates, lack of maturity, lack of professionalism, things of that nature. So, but I know our good residential doctor has a lot to say on this. So I'm going to go ahead and just, as they do in Congress, I'd like to dedicate my time to the good gentleman from Suitland so he can speak his piece and take some of my time. Go ahead, Dr. KG.
Two things. As far as Donovan Mitchell, them saying in Cleveland that he's upset with the players about their attitude, that's all cap. And I got that from a reliable source that is the horse's mouth himself. That's cap. That is not true. Not upset whatsoever. Don't plan on taking his ball and leaving at all. If he takes his ball and leaves Cleveland in that fashion, I guarantee you, I put a stamp on this. This is a Blue Magic guarantee. I stand by it. If that happens,
you gotta say it again.
We can't.
That is a Blue Magic guarantee.
Okay.
I stand by it. I put a stamp on that says Blue Magic. The Midnight Rider eat crow if he does.
Okay.
I got to put you in it. But no, he said that's not true. That's not the way he feels at all. That's number one. Number two, he missed the last 2 games with a calf strain. We've had this before. We've had this discussion before on this very podcast. There are 3 different levels. You have a calf, you have a sprain. A sprain is swelling. You could put ice on that, little rest. You can be back in a couple of days sometimes, depending on what level grade it is, okay? A strain, however, depending on where the strain is, and when it's a calf strain, you have to be very, very careful. You have to be careful because a strain is a partial tear. You have a tear in the ligaments. So you have to be very careful because you can have a complete rupture depending if it's upper calf or lower calf. If it's lower calf, that's closest to the Achilles tendon. If you remember, the Golden State Warriors playing the Raptors, what was that, 2018? I believe that was in the finals. Kevin Durant had a calf strain. When he came back that first game, because they pressed him to come back from that calf strain, what happened? He tore his ACL. Before that game, you can go back and you can look at it. And I said it. He does not need to play on that calf strain because where did he have the ice at in the tunnel? It was near his Achilles. That is not some place that you need to play around in that. And what happened the following game? He tore his Achilles. That is the next step after a strain. You have to be careful with these things. You can't just run out there and be like, okay, I'm good. It's the playoffs. Because this is money you're leaving on the table. This is time missed. I'm with Donovan Mitchell on this, and this is about preserving yourself right now because this is a bigger risk than just saying, all right, let me just take some Toradol and go ahead and go at it. You can't do both. This is different.
This is not a licensed medical opinion. This is the opinion of Dr. KG, the big guy himself. So please do not try to follow this advice and think it will help you in your endeavors if you are ever injured in any situation. Thank you.
My wife said I'm a doctor.
Hey, can we go ahead and switch this back? Because it feels weird. Thanks.
Hey, keep checking in. Playoffs? I love it. The boss BJ sitting on the panel and still checking in. Sounds like BS to me. That's great. I'm being honest. And Keith says not a licensed medical thing, but he's spot the fuck on. Thank you, Keith. You got to be careful with those things. I don't fault Spider Mitchell for not playing in that because depending on how bad that strain was, yeah, you can't just go out there and say, even if you're at 70%, that 70% by the third quarter, you rupture an Achilles, and then what does that mean? Y'all are crazy tonight. Midnight Rider is definitely my favorite. I bet it is.
Oh my God.
Boston moves on to the conference finals. They're awaiting the winner of the Knicks Pacers. Speaking of which, that game is up. What?
Well, you move on. Draymond Green said something about the Boston Celtics, and it's what he's been saying. What I've been saying. Nobody cares that they're in the East Finals. For them, it is about championships. Just like LA, if you're not hanging a banner that don't say in-season play-in and Eastern Conference, nobody wants to see that in Boston. Nobody wants to see that in LA. And like I said, Boston's fizzled out the last couple seasons. This is just, and it's so. I say this with a grain of salt because the Wizards aren't there, and this is a normal thing for the Boston Celtics franchise. Eastern Conference Finals, great. Are you going to move on to and they still have 2 rounds to prove that this is legit because they can go to the finals and fizz out again.
Mm-hmm.
So, congratulations! It's the step you need to take, and it's I don't want to be the one throwing the water on their fire because you make the Eastern Conference Finals, you're one of the last 4 teams standing, but for Boston it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter until they raise the Larry O'Brien Trophy and Tatum is holding Finals MVP. It does not matter. Doesn't matter because it looked like New York coming.
Big Dog checking in. Good evening, gentlemen. Acknowledge me.
He's crazy, man.
Tribal Chief.
That should be his nickname for our show, Tribal Chief.
Yeah, the Tribal Chief. Now I'm not taking anything. I didn't talk about Boston. I'm not taking anything away from Boston. Boston is a good team. They're not the sexy team that Boston usually is. Because if Boston makes it this far, they're the sexy team. They're the team you want to see in the finals because they're the sexy team. But Boston hasn't been a sexy team in quite some time. They don't throw sexy parties, You
got to explain that one to me.
Okay. When you which part? The sexy parties or the sexy team?
All of that because they're the 1 seed. They're the favorite. I mean, I think everybody was on this bandwagon, and they didn't think the East had anybody that could contend with them. So how is that not the sexy team?
The sexy team, to be honest, the sexy team is New York. That's the team that's sexy.
I mean, if we put this in wrestling terms, New York would be more like Jey Uso. They got the fly intro, they got all the hype with them. You know what I'm saying? It's me, Us. They want, you know what I'm saying? Yeet and all that. I don't see them as the sexy or the champion. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. Boston has been let down a couple of times over the years. And the reason why I say they're not the sexy team, think about it. What was that, 2 years ago? We were in the finals. Honestly, that finals against Golden State, did you really watch that finals?
I watched all the finals, yeah.
I was bored out of my gourd watching that finals.
Oh.
Like, I was so bad, I was sick to my stomach, man. I was just like,
but that's different because, your team ain't won a championship since 96. So you wouldn't really, you probably wouldn't even want to watch championships or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
My team hasn't won a championship since 98, so...
Oh, my bad. 98, 96, the same difference. Some guy named Jordan, blah, blah, blah,
right.
blah, blah,
but also
blah.
remember.
Check the scrolls.
Also remember. Greatest team of all time. Remember that. Moving right along before I was so rudely interrupted.
By the truth.
That wasn't a truth. But it was partial truth, but there's always half truths coming out of you.
Okay, so, here we go.
Anyway, I don't think Boston is a sexy team. Yes, they're the number 1 seed, but I didn't see a lot of people have them winning the championship. It wasn't a lot of people that had them going to the finals. So you can be the number 1 seed and not be the favorite.
I disagree with that because the East wasn't a strong conference. The sexy conference is the West.
Always.
So Boston, and this is what I was saying earlier, it's like this is expected from Boston. This isn't a pat on the back. This is like, I will see you in the finals, maybe. Don't let New York come in here. Don't let New York come in here and rip them clovers up. Because if it do, that I'm gonna say this now. If that happens and Boston doesn't make it out of the East Finals, that team has to be disassembled and rebuilt.
Didn't they do that already?
No, I'm talking about the core 2 guys. And Tatum's not going anywhere. So it has to be Jaylen Brown. Something has to give. You can't do that again. And if New York gets on a run and can get a little bit healthier, I'm taking New York in that series. So, but unfortunately for Boston, they don't, like you said before, New York has the hype. Boston doesn't have the hype because everybody has seen the antics the last couple of years. So it's like, okay, what are y'all going to do? And I really, and I'll go back to the Cleveland series. I thought that would have been a different series if Donovan Mitchell would have played. Remember I said the Boston-Cleveland series would show you how good the Orlando-Cleveland series was. But we can't measure it now because their main person got hurt.
Right.
So, but we shall see. It's going to be interesting for Boston.
And the Knicks, tomorrow night, they lead 3-2. They're going back to Indiana. Game 6. If they can close this out in 6, great. I don't think they should let it go 7, but just my opinion. Dallas and the Thunder in the West. Dallas won last night 104-92. They lead 3-2. They got a chance to close this out Saturday. Denver has a chance to close it out today at 8:30. 3-2. Do you think that puts a black eye?
Let's separate them out. Let's do them individually.
Okay. Let's talk about the Nuggets and Timberwolves. You think if the Timberwolves lose tonight,
absolutely not.
That puts a black eye on this run that they've had?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I think one of us on this panel said on Sunday that if Denver makes this an even series, what they say, when we even, I'm leaving. And right now, Denver's making space. Tonight has to be a night where Ant gets 40. And he has to carry this team on his back and unwillingly take anybody with him and everybody with him, whether they want to go or not. Like, we got to make this go 7 games. And if he doesn't, then it's not a slight on the kid because the kid has showed you he's got next. So there's no problems. And this is what I was talking about. I said, when you got championship pedigree, and you get in a point where you were down and now you evened it up. Now that pedigree and that confidence, confidence is on high. And the other thing I've learned is that Aaron Gordon, is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't go to dinner with them for the rest of the playoffs because he missed the dinner after before game 3, and they started winning. So he can't break the streak. So unless they lose in between now and then, Aaron Gordon can't go to dinner.
Interesting. I had picked the Mavericks over the Thunder, and I said I didn't think the Thunder were ready yet. And when you have that experience in those pressure moments in the playoffs, and we've seen it from all the great teams that have won multiple championships, it becomes certain points in the game where a timeout can't help you. It has to be experience. It has to be that calming effect. You have to have players that understand that we down by 12, we got to fight back. Denver understood we're down by 2. Worst case scenario, we got to play 6 games. That's how they're thinking. Yep. Another team would be down 0-2. All right, we just got to get a game. That is 2 different mentalities. Denver's still in their head like we can win this. We just got to do, 6. They came out fighting. All right, we'll make some adjustments, and they beat us with us playing a C game. So if they beat us playing a C game, when we bring the A game, we've seen their best. So when we bring our A game, if that's all y'all got, y'all are in trouble. Versus, man, you feeling that pressure like, it's 2-1, now it's 2-2, now it's 3-2. It's a different type of Minnesota hasn't been it. They have their back against the wall. So they're learning. I think I get Ant-Man 50 tonight. Is it tonight? It's tonight, right?
It's tonight.
Yeah, 8:30.
I think Ant-Man puts up 50, makes this a game 7. I think Denver comes out victorious in the series. And then, we looking forward to I think this NBA playoffs is the playoffs that brings your late 90s, 2000 NBA fans back. This is it, because I'm interested now. So, but not, I don't think it puts a black eye on Minnesota at all. They're playing the defending champs.
Yeah, I give you that. And the boss BJ asks, are 7-Eleven hot dogs beef or pork? The world may never know, because if you find out, you'll stop eating.
That's sad, because I know everybody on this panel has had a 7-Eleven hot dog and nobody knows what it's made of.
And I'll never question it, because if you start questioning it, you'll stop eating it. Quarter pound Big Bite.
They could be grinding up towels in the back. The towels we walk on the floor, mixing it with some water and some flour, artificial hot dog flavoring.
Yeah, and put it in a pork casing so it pop.
Sorry, dog. This stomach ain't doing that no more.
I haven't had a hot dog from 7-Eleven in years. Once they start making it where it's self-serve, I stopped eating it.
Yeah, the self-serve thing got me.
Yep.
The self-serve thing got me where,
Even when they were serving it to you, I was like, After like 25, 26, it was like, nah, I'm good.
Man. The tribal chief checking in said, black eye on the NBA? Maybe.
That's an interesting thought. So I'm wondering if he's thinking about the officiating piece of it, where you had Gobert make the money sign to somebody. That could be that's an interesting take.
The other series in the West, the Thunder Mavericks.
Yeah, no, he's going back to the Mavericks and the Thunder.
Dallas is up 3-2. Here's a question. I don't want to skip too far ahead, but I want to speak a hypothetical. If Denver closes out tonight, Mavs close out on Saturday. Nuggets, Mavs. Do you think the Mavs have enough to dethrone the Nuggets?
Let's actually talk about this series first. Let's finish up. I know B gave some quick thoughts, but I want to give a couple thoughts because poor Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is out here. And KG, you got to correct me on the group because I think it's child lights. And I think he sits in his room. He sees their faces everywhere he goes, but he asks, have you seen them? And that's his teammates. making any kind of effort to help him score and win a basketball game. This is ridiculous. Like the other night, they brought Josh Giddey off the bench and he still gave him nothing. He is going full-blown Ben Simmons. The only thing he doesn't have is a back injury. Then if we talk about just the team itself, nobody can hit a shot. Lou Dort can't hit a shot. Something Joe can't hit a shot. They bring the kid Hassan Wallace from Kentucky off the bench, and he's scoring just out of ignorance because he don't know no better. I mean, this team is getting Chet Holmgren. Hey, Chet, you got to step it up, baby. You got to do something. You're a top 5 pick. You got to do something. You got to give us something. That's Shea got to go walk through the room. He got to, you know what it is? At some point, he got to turn into Denzel from Training Day and tell him he putting cases on all of them.
Another Denzel Washington reference here on the Sideline Junkies. And yes, that is the Shy Lights. Oh, I see her face everywhere I go. And the street, oh, even at the picture show. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her?
Yeah, exactly. Because, jeez.
Tribal Chief, Western Conference, all European.
Hey, that's Denver and whatchamacallit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really think that, like I said before, I said OKC is on the cusp, but this ain't it. They haven't arrived yet.
Oh.
No, they arrived. I think the problem is they just young. I mean, they got to the bus too soon.
See, that's what I mean. When I say you haven't arrived yet,
they on the wrong bus. It ain't.
You haven't.
Okay.
It ain't gassed up. Their luggage not in it. It's no driver.
Damn, the bus driver has no driver. I mean, the bus has no driver. Damn. All right, fellas. A lot of talk coming out after a WNBA debut last night of Caitlin Clark. Aaliyah Boston was in her ear walking off the court, and everybody's like, oh, look at how she's talking to her, and why is she in her ear like that? But she was being a veteran and giving her pointers. And I think Caitlin Clark had a brilliant debut. I think her regular season debut was pretty good. Couple of hiccups, but the moment was big. I don't think that defines on how her career is gonna go. Gentlemen, did you catch anything from her debut? Because everybody didn't debut last night.
So I'm gonna go 2 quick points, and then after we go cycle through, I gotta come back if I remember it. Because I'm 48, and these 48 turns around the sun, that brain don't work like it used to. But Caitlin Clark, I said something right before she got drafted. I said the one thing she's got to work on, her handles, because she's not fast, she's not quick, so she's got to do something to create space. And last night, the young lady that was guarding her was all for everything. She was there for receipts. I think the only thing I didn't like, and I saw Pat McAfee make a statement about it, is he felt like she got 2 cheap fouls early, and that hindered her start last night. So from what I saw, she struggled getting off picks. She struggled creating space, and that's the next part of her game. That's going to be the part that, unfortunately, she didn't have that gap to where she could work on that. So she's kind of going to struggle a little bit with that. And I think that might be her only Achilles heel. And I don't think the rest of her team is that strong either. So she's going to take some L's. Be ready for these capital AWs. Go ahead, B.
I think you have a Miss Clark where once she has a big ass target on her back, and every game she plays from here on out, whoever's defending her is going to have Super Saiyan powers. So she already has to defend against that, right? And then the natural transition from college to the pros. Everything's faster. You're not playing, a team with 2 and 3 star, recruits. These are grown women that try to make a paycheck and want to make a name out of you because you're the league now. So that and just the normal stuff. Like I said, game's quicker. Midnight Rider said you got to work on your handles. I think a couple of shots I watched, I think she forced some stuff. And if you listen to the Indiana Fever coach, she laid it out perfectly. If you haven't seen that interview with her, and she's explaining to her what she has to do, instead of taking that deep three, take the long two. Do little things. Little things add up big in the end. Like, do the little things. The other stuff will come. Stop forcing it. I think she's forcing it. When she stops forcing, let the game come to her, just like any other sport, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. And I love that Aaliyah Balsam was in her ear. I love that. It's just like, let's go. We got you. Stop forcing it. It'll come, but you got to trust your teammates. That sounds familiar, don't it? Got to trust your teammates. You can't do it all on you. You're not going to do it all on your own. This is the pro level. You're going to have your nights where you're showing off, but you got to trust your teammates.
Last night she dropped 20 with 3 assists. Tonight they're playing, I believe, in Indiana. I believe that's in Indiana. She has 2 points. That's in New York.
If ESPN has it the way, I think it looks like it's in the. Actually, no, that's not them. That's another game. That's Connecticut Sun. I'm sorry. I apologize for interrupting you.
No problem. She's got 2 points in 16 minutes, but she got 4 rebounds and 5 assists.
Yeah.
For the Liberty, Breanna Stewart balling 22.6 rebounds and an assist, and she's carrying the Liberty on her back right now.
What is They got any stats on Anescu?
Anescu she has 9 points and 7 rebounds at this present point, and we are in the third quarter with about 8 minutes or so to go.
All right, we need Caitlin to get on her horse. I need Caitlin to get me 20.
Liberty 52-35 leading.
Oof. Get on that horse, Caitlin.
We got other.
Oh, no. So I'm glad BJ brought up Coach Sides, because you took her conversation way different than I did. When I heard her talking about Caitlin Clark after the game, and maybe this is like some old Laker PTSD, all I saw was Dale Harris. I saw Dale Harris putting the cuffs on a young bull and not letting the bull shine. And she talked about her taking her threes and not working together, or not working in certain situations. And I just think, I don't know. I heard something different, and I'm glad you said that. And we didn't even talk about that beforehand, but I heard her sounding like she was going to try to rein this young lady in, and I think that's not good for Caitlin Clark and her long-term success. I think you got to let her do what got her here. You got to dance with the girl that got you to the prom, or you took to the prom.
Well, here's the thing. Doing what got you there ain't going to keep you there.
You got to hone your skills, baby. Okay.
So that's something I was always taught. You got to evolve. And it's all about evolution.
Okay.
The Liberty Fever game is the only game that's on at this present moment.
It's on a game on the slate tonight.
Yeah, that's the only one. Tomorrow we got 2 games. You got Mystics versus Sun, Storm versus Lynx tomorrow night. Saturday. Hold on, back up. Yesterday you had the young ladies from the Sky, Angel Reese, and she's out right now with a shoulder injury. She's out for a while. Angel Reese and her debut had 12 points and 8 rebounds, even though the Sky dropped this one 87-79 to the Wings. They get another crack at it tomorrow.
Well, there's issues in Paradise right now, because I've already seen the piece where Angel Reese is complaining about the travel, because all the teams do have the ability to secure private flights. The problem is, I guess, the Sky. That's what she plays with, right? The Sky.
Yep.
The Sky haven't been able to ascertain the private jet yet, so they're still taking commercial flights. I see the face. I'm just telling you I'm just reporting what I get. I'm just reporting the news. I saw the thing this morning. She posted a tweet or Instagram or whatever it was, and they were on a commercial flight. So I guess they haven't secured their private jet yet. I don't know what avenues they got to go through, what change the command, whatever. I would have thought the league would have just got with a company and just boom, you get a plane, you get a plane, you get a plane, and we go from there. But obviously, that's not what happened.
I think sometimes they're their own worst enemies.
Yes,
absolutely. Like if it's coming and you know it's coming, why complain about it?
All right.
Well, that's a good question. Moving on. Let's be delusional for a little bit. Last night, the NFL schedule was released for 2024. I've seen the Cowboy fans say, "Oh, we're going undefeated. This is our year. We're going to the Super Bowl."
You ain't seen that. You have not seen that.
I see it every year. They'll put the schedule up and like, "Oh, this is a W. Get to the back of the bus. We're going to the Super Bowl."
That's interesting. I got a friend that he's a Cowboys fan, and I don't know if he's trying to take cues from his son because his son has to commit because he's class of 2026. But he's talking about putting out some hats and picking his team. He was a Cowboys fan, but he's thinking about the Texans, and he's got a couple other teams up his sleeve. So I don't know what he's going to decide. So I've seen all parts of spectrum. And if you saw Ryan Clark today, he told Stephen A. that this is probably going to be his least eventful season when it comes to the Cowboys because nobody's going to talk the Cowboys up because they didn't do anything this all season. The biggest thing they did was bring in Zeke, which doesn't make sense. Then the fact that he feels like they're going to struggle. And he thinks that Stephen A., like somewhere between week 8 and 9, he's going to have to talk about Mike McCarthy being fired and then talk about where does Dak Prescott play next year. So that's going to be kind of interesting that you say that. You have that perspective.
And you know what's crazy? This team, it's 3 teams with 6 primetime games, and they're one of them. They have 6 primetime games this year.
You can't mess with the money.
No. Because, see, here's the thing. And Xavier said they are losing. Yeah, they're going to lose. Here's the thing.
So what's your man? It's Otis, and what's the other dude? It's Otis and David Ruffin, right?
Yes.
And ain't nobody coming to see Otis. That's exactly
well, everybody's coming to see Otis now.
Well, that's only because, never mind.
Don't matter how it happened, but everybody coming to see Otis now.
Okay, it's probably because he's the only one left alive. But
that is true.
But I'm just
harsh reality, boy.
I'm getting dark like BJ now. But no, seriously, I think the problem is they always sell and they're always going to sell out. It's like Caitlin Clark. If they're smart in the WNBA, anytime she plays anybody of substance, that game's got to be on TV.
Yes.
I mean, because you already have teams moving games to the main arenas. I think the Atlanta Dream are the latest to do it. Like somebody said, Jeff Teague is who it was. He said they should almost WWE this thing and like try to make sure they put her over because she is the next best thing for that league. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I get his sentiment.
You don't agree with that?
I agree with the sentiment.
Do you get his paprika too?
Say again?
Do you get his paprika too?
No, I said sentiment. I thought I did.
It sounded like it's sentiment. That's why I was messing with you.
Hey, that's DC for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. My bad. Merlin.
You got the New Balance with the Metro logo on them?
Nah, I don't go that far.
Oh, he ain't thorough. That's what he ain't thorough.
You're not thorough? I ain't thorough either. I just want to let you know.
No cap.
I ain't thorough either.
See, now you went from DC to Atlanta, man. Nah. I ain't well.
Oh, my bad. On Mothers. Is that better? On Mothers.
Here's the thing. And I'm being quite honest. This is what I've heard from Cowboy fans. When I say let's be delusional, this is probably one of the most delusional fan base. But you have to give. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I already know where this is going to go.
You have to give Jerry Jones credit because he runs the Cowboys as a business, as an entity. He does what the Raiders used to do. Where the Raiders name used to sell itself, the Cowboys name sells itself. That's why they're worth what, almost $7 billion. That's why their merchandise sales are so high. Like I seen this dude at the Super Bowl says, look at all that blue up there. I'm talking about the kind that ain't moving because the sky was blue. He sells the team. The name sells itself. They're always going to be on TV. They're always going to have high hopes, no matter what. Jerry Jones, for all his faults, is a businessman. And he runs this team like a business, but the merchandising side where he sells the team and he sells the premise of the team is a little bit better than the on-field product. That's all I can say.
You know who you just made me think of? Major Winifred Payne. When he said, killing is my business and business is good. And I think that's exactly what it is, man. The Cowboys is our business and business is good. They're never taking that cash cow off of TV. They don't have to be good. They can just live the lie. Just live the lie. It's okay.
Ever since they were anointed America's team, and they weren't even the first choice to be anointed America's team, but ever since they were anointed America's team,
the other team didn't want it.
No, they did not. They said, no, why would we do that? We're not America's team.
It just sounds like a lot of hate.
What do you mean?
Because one of the most delusional fan bases 11 miles up the street from me at FedEx Field.
I thought you were talking about Baltimore, because I'm like, Baltimore.
No. I'm talking about Burgundy and Gold, football team, command, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I listen to the radio here, and I listen to you complain about this fan base over and over again.
No. I never complain about them being. Do I call them delusional? Yeah, they could be delusional.
I call them a little bit of everything.
I call them a little bit of everything.
I wish we had a button on here. I wish we had AI logged into this thing, and I can type in KG says delusional and hit a button, and it will bring up every clip that you have nailed this fan base to the wall. So,
and I'm going to continue to, because this feels like Austin Powers' Gold member. When he offered Austin Powers a smoke and a pancake, a bong and a blintz, he was like, he didn't want none of that. I see there is no pleasing you. That's this fan base. I see there is no pleasing you. But now the schedule came out. Damn, why you shining the light on me, man?
I'll tell y'all in a minute. Something's bothering me, and that's just my ADHD hitting me. So I'll let y'all know in a minute.
The schedule came out. 2 preseason games. Dolphins and the Patriots. Kicking off the regular season game. 4:25 game down in Tampa Bay against the Bucks. Got the Giants the following week on the 15th at home. On the road to the Bengals. That's an 8:15 game. I think is that a Thursday night?
No, Bengals is a Monday night.
I'm allergic to Thursday night games.
I hate them. Come back off of that with Cardinals game in Arizona. Then you got the Browns and Washington, the Ravens up the road on the 13th. Mark that on your calendars, gentlemen. I think that's one that we can probably drive out to. You got the Panthers on the 20th at home. The Bears on the 27th at home. The Giants in New York on the 3rd. The Steelers on the 10th at home. In Philly on the 14th. Host Dallas on the 24th. Is the 24th? That's not Thanksgiving, is it?
I can look for you. Keep talking.
Please do.
I don't think so.
You got the Titans on the 1st of December at home. Saints in New Orleans on the 15th. So the bye week is going to be the 8th. The Eagles at home on the 22nd. Falcons at home on the 29th. And we finish the season for the 3rd year in a row against the Cowboys in Dallas this time.
It's a Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Okay. So we don't have a Sunday game. The last 2 games of the season could be flex. Those are to be determined. Washington has the Eagles on the 14th in prime time. And the Bengals on the 23rd in prime time. But I'm looking over this schedule, and I make jokes and say, hey, it's 14-3, easy. I make jokes about it, but I think I'll have to wait until we see the preseason, so I can see what we got going into the season. See what's going on in OTA before I can give a definite answer on on records. What do you gentlemen think about this schedule of the Washington Commanders?
I think the only thing you missed was it's the Jets, Dolphins, and the Patriots for our preseason games.
I didn't even have the Jets. That's the thing. I only seen it. Only gave me 2 preseason games. Like, where's the third?
No, it's the third. So the Jets are first, Miami second, Patriots third. And what you want to start thinking about now is more than likely, depending on where the Jets game is, that might be a spot where you take the team if it's in New York. You go up to New York and you do the joint practices. You're definitely familiar with what's the kid down in Miami, the head coach. Huh?
Yeah,
Mike McDaniels.
Yeah, McDaniels. So they could do a joint practice with Mikey McD, because they were in Atlanta together when Mike was only like 21, barely able to drink. So he's another person that you can probably get some joint practices in with. And then you go into the Patriots game. And actually, I think we have 9 road games this year and 8 home. So then that means they would have 2 home preseason games. And double check that for me, KG. Because whatever the scenario is, it's basically the opposite. So if you have 9 home games, then you have 2 away preseason games.
Yeah, and I believe they got 2 away.
Okay. Then
here's a question. You said something about joint practices. Even though we played the AFC North, you remember the days when we used to practice against the Steelers. When we practiced in Carlisle, we did training camp in Carlisle. Even in Frostburg, we practiced against the Steelers.
Okay.
We even practiced against the Ravens because they're right up the road.
Right.
We would go up there for a week. They would come down for a week. What's wrong with scrimmaging against those guys? And I'm surprised. We got to play the Ravens during the season, so that's why we don't play them.
That's exactly what it is. I think if you, I think the first person I heard say this, and it made sense to me, was JP Finley, and he's talked about, because they play the North, the Ravens and some of those teams are out of the picture. So more than likely, the teams that they're going to try to scrimmage are the teams from the AFC East, and it worked out just exactly like he said. I think he was working off some insider knowledge, but still he was right. And I think you'll just mix in, because you got to think about it. Saleh is a Kyle Shanahan guy. McDaniels is a Kyle Shanahan guy. Quinn is a Kyle Shanahan guy, or vice versa. So these things all fit. If the glove don't fit, then you got to acquit. But you're not acquitting this situation because, boom, guilty.
Okay. I take it you're not going to give up. Neither one of you guys are going to give up a record prediction this early. We're going to wait a little while.
No, I'll give you a record. I think they win 8 games. I actually was going to ask, because I don't know what the over-under is for the Bills, but I was going to say, hey, I know the boss got the MGM. I got, FanDuel. We find who gives us the better odds on either the overs or the over and under, however you want to do it. Because I think the Commanders are 6.5. I'll take the over on that.
Okay.
And Buffalo, I don't know what Buffalo's is, but I think Buffalo might be 11 or 10.5. And however the boss man feels, I think we should just do a group. I'm going over. I think you want the over for the Commanders as well. So that's the Commanders bet. We figure out what BJ want to do, and then we just put it as a parlay. Everybody chip in 5, and then we split it after we win.
10.5.
So you think you're going over the 10.5 or under?
Over.
So there we go. So over 6.5, over 10.5. Whenever we get a chance, let's put that in the books official.
Let's
Not
look at
in the notebook. I'm talking about in the
Oh yeah,
sports book.
your bet has been placed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well,
Thank you. Your
And
bet has been placed.
honestly, as a show gimmick, I think that's something we should try to do. Is like if we can come to a consensus on certain stuff, I think we should take certain bets and just bet it as a show, and then split the proceeds afterwards.
I would say for choice beverages, but someone doesn't indulge in choice beverages.
Hey,
I'll leave some apple
but you
cider.
know what we could do?
I'll leave some apple juice out in the sun for you.
I mean, depending on the bet, we could at least put that bet money towards like even going out. So say you bet 10 and we get back 200. All right, we take that 200 and either
we go to Kabah Palace.
Say what?
We go to Kabah Palace.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. We can do. Hey, whatever we want to do with the winnings is whatever.
Hey, you know what we could do with the winnings? We could take. Let's say we won 200. We could take that 200, bet it back, double it, and then we could take that 400 and we can go to Helen Hunt Motors and we can get ourselves a nice Nissan Altima
For $400.
Hey, $400 down. They on sale. They're going quick. Please hit up Helen Hunt Motors. It's one near you, so it's the closest.
Can I tell y'all what's bothering me?
What's bothering?
And it's just nothing to do with the show, but I don't know where the microphone port is because I'm not plugged in anything. And you know how you have the little hole that shows you, that's your microphone. Don't see it on the computer, and
it's not up by your camera.
Bothering. That's why I took the light and looked, and it is not, and it's bugging the shit out of me. Where are you pulling my voice from?
There's mine right there.
I don't even get that technical. I just turn it on. As long as you can hear me, I'm good.
And see, that's what I'm saying. I wish my brain didn't work like that. But I'm looking because I got what looks like a slew of speaker holes on both sides, and it could be in there somewhere. But this is what I think about. This is going to bother me at 3:48 in the morning when I get up to go pee. Where's the speaker? And I'm gonna come out here probably and look for it again. Maybe I missed the hole somewhere. No diddy, but
JoJo chimed in and she said, "Fever coach gotta go." Damn! After the first game,
she got the same vibe I got. She got the Dale Harris vibe. She didn't get the coaching vibe.
Yikes! I got the coaching vibe. Good gracious!
Xavier said, "If they go undefeated, meaning the Cowboys, then the Eagles are going undefeated." Well, okay. He also said that also means they aren't going undefeated.
Oh, okay. I like what he did there.
He said, "Steelers country, let's steal."
I get that.
My child. And he said he'll go over with the Commanders.
If you got 5,
you can't bet though. You're under 18.
Hey, X.
Oh,
X. If you I put 5 up. I'm just saying.
Oh, speaking of which, we back up. The kid's selling candy, but I'm not allowed to help him sell it. So.
What kind of candy you selling?
He's selling candy balls.
They don't have you know what? The worst trick the world ever played was back in the day, they had the chocolate covered almonds, which was the best thing it was crack cocaine. If you had the chocolate almonds, you could go somewhere and you sell your box of candy and come home with your little $35, $45 off your box or whatever it was. With no problems. You can stand out front of your little church. Everybody come over. Oh, hey, how you doing? Give me some chocolate covered almonds. And boom. And the school would run out of the almonds quicker than anything else. And then you had to be forced to sell the bars after the fact. And you did all that work just so you can get a $30 toy at the end of the thing. Which is the biggest ripoff. It's the only ripoff bigger than that is Chuck E. Cheese and those tickets.
I'll tell you a trick with that later. Moving over to the Bills. The Bills open up the preseason against the Bears at home on the 10th. They got a 1:00 game on the 10th. I hate preseason games that start in the afternoon.
Why?
Because it's supposed to start in the evening.
It's the preseason game. Get it over with.
Preseason game on a Saturday in the evening. It's like
It's content. If they show the game, you got a game on. What are you mad about?
You got things to do on a Saturday at 1 p.m.
It's the summertime.
Yes. People are out. People are grilling. People are cooking out. People are going to play ball. I don't want to have to stop what I'm doing Saturday afternoon to go watch football right now. I want to watch it at 7 o'clock after I had my shower, so I can watch the game and then I can watch Sandlot. I'm good.
All right, man. I don't know what you. I don't know, man.
I don't like change. But the Bills open up against the Bears 1 p.m. on August 10th at home. Then they travel the next week, 7 p.m. start against the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. Then they round out the preseason at home against the Panthers. To open the season, the Bills have the Cardinals at home September 8th. Then they got to turn around on the 12th, which is that Thursday. Fly down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. On the 23rd, they got the Jaguars at home. The Ravens. Oh, Bills and Ravens, B. The 29th in Baltimore. Circle that one on your calendar. That's an 8:20. So we're going to have to put in for the next day. So
I'm going to look into that.
Let's circle that one on the calendar, fellas. Then on the 6th of October, they go visit the Texans. On the 14th, they have the Jets in New Jersey. They come back home on the 20th to face the Titans. Then they fly out to Seattle to take on the Seahawks on the 27th. On the 3rd, they take on the Dolphins at home. Then they fly to Indianapolis and take on the Colts on the 10th. They face the Chiefs on the 17th in Orchard Park. The 49ers on the 1st of December. You think they're going to do something for OJ on that game? Think they'll acknowledge OJ? You don't think so? Okay. But it's OJ. But okay. On the 8th, they visit LA, take on the Rams at SoFi. On the 15th, they take on the Lions in Detroit. They host the Patriots on the 22nd. And then they host the Jets the following week on the 29th. And then they go to New England on the 5th to face the Patriots. They play the Patriots twice in 3 weeks. BJ, you said you're taking an over. What was it? The over-under was 10?
10 and a half.
10 and a half. Are you taking an over on this Bills season?
Yeah, I'm taking over.
I see the Bills winning at least 13 games, at the least.
I don't know about 13, but I think they get to the 11 mark.
I got 11 and a possible.
Yeah.
This is why I say 13. Honestly. And the Jets got a favorable schedule. So they're going to try to do everything to stack the Jets up because the Jets, I think, got like 7 or 8 primetime games. Something like that.
You can't say that. You can't say that. The schedule is the schedule. Like I saw somebody else complain about like the AFC North having the hardest schedule and the West not, certain divisions not. Like you got to understand, it's a cycle.
Yes.
And if you cycle into the wrong part, you just screwed.
Yes, I get that. No, I'm not saying that it's because of the schedule.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general, like people have been complaining about it. It's like, dog, this is a continuous cycle, and like this year the AFC North ended up with the NFC East. Okay, so now you got your AFC North schedule and you got your NFC East schedule, and then whatever else you're playing, that's why they're 1, 2, and 3 in the thing. You know, if you luck out and you get the NFC South as the division you play against, guess what? More money, because you going,
What's the rotation? Every 6 years on the divisions?
Nah, it's every year.
Every 4.
So,
I mean, they rotate, but you play every division like we play in the AFC. We played the AFC East last year in the NFC East, so we don't play them again.
No, you played the AFC East last year, and I think you played the NFC North last year. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but
either way. But it doesn't happen again for like another 4 years? It's like every 4 years,
something like that. Yeah.
But no, when I say they stacking it up for the Jets, because the Jets had the primetime games, and I guess they're expecting Aaron Rodgers to come back and do Aaron Rodgers things. But I'm looking over this Bills schedule.
It's New York.
It is, but when we can't talk about the Jets the way we talk about the Knicks. When the Jets win, hog futures are not high. The price of gasoline is not low.
Okay.
You know, when the Jets win, it's different. But looking over this Bills schedule, being honest, Cardinals win. I think they'll split with the Dolphins. I think the Jaguars is a win. The Ravens and the Texans are toss-ups. The Jets, W. The Titans, W. The Seahawks, possible. The Colts, they'll win. They'll beat the Chiefs. They'll beat the Niners. They'll lose to the Rams. They'll beat the Lions. And they'll beat the Patriots both times. So they'll split with the Jets.
So you got 12 in the possible. Actually, you got 12 and 2 possibles.
Yeah. And that's not because of confidence. That's because I know for a fact I haven't been wrong about this in about 5 years. When it comes to the Bills playing the Chiefs in the regular season, they always beat the Chiefs. They beat the brakes off the Chiefs in the regular season.
I'm so tired of playing the Chiefs in the regular season. They can lose that game.
Yeah.
But the only team
that's the schedule quirk.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only reason you get them is because the schedule makes you play the first place team. You finish first place, so you play the first place team in every division. That's all that is. I'm sorry, BJ. Go ahead. My bad.
No. You're good. You're good. I'm concerned about the Jets because I know Aaron Rodgers is the final piece. That team is really good, and they're good on both sides of the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see how that comes together. I'm not worried about the Dolphins. As long as Tua is their quarterback, I'm not concerned about them. Them getting OBJ does nothing for them, you know. So I like the depth at receiver that they've kind of put together. And I'm thinking, like I said, 11, 12 wins, AFC East, but the Bills are in that Boston Celtic talk for me. It's just like, okay, AFC East, great, but now it's y'all time to get past the AFC Championship and make moves. So that's where I'm gonna be at.
No, I mean, I think you're in the same place that a lot of Cowboy Nation is at, where, you know, we've done this, we've been here and done that. Cowboys won 12 games the last 3 years. You know, the Bills have been contenders the last 3 years. So you got to take that next step. You're in that Boston situation. It literally has to honestly be Buffalo versus Dallas in the Super Bowl for both fan bases to be satiated and happy.
I'm not even going to go there because I was going to say something. I'm not even going to go there. But if I want to be delusional as far as the Commanders go, say the Commanders are a 12-win team if I want to be delusional. But I'm not, because I'm not there. So an official record, I'll take over 6, but an official record, not releasing that right now. We'll wait on that. Boss BJ, you got anything else to say about the Bills' schedule release?
Nah, I don't. I think we pretty much covered everything. So,
quick update. Rangers, Hurricanes. The Canes are up 3-1. At the end of the second, the Rangers are leading the series right now 3-2. So if the score holds, we're going to get a game 7 in the National Hockey League for the Rangers and the Canes.
Good show.
Oh, and on the NBA side, it's 9-9 for the Nuggets and the Timberwolves.
Man, that's a tight game. I wonder if that score going to hold.
Actually, it's 11-9. The Timberwolves just scored.
Damn, tight game, man. Thought that score was going to hold. Quickly, the new happenings of the RFK site. I sent you. What happened? What's wrong?
Nah, go ahead. Let's talk about this.
The Senator, let me pull up the correct quote so I'm not wrong on this. The senator from Montana is threatening to block the bill to redevelop the RFK site, but not for what you think. He wants the team to revert back to their old logo, which was designed by Blackfoot tribe member Blackie Wetzel, and it was designed, I believe, off of his grandfather. Here's the quote. Like many things in Congress, the bill to allow redevelopment of the former site is moving very, very slowly. Senator Steve Daines, Republican, Montana, will say this morning at a committee hearing he wants the commanders to honor its old logo depicting a Native American. The logo was designed in the 1970s by Walter Blackie Wetzel, a member of the Blackfeet Nation in Montana. Ryan Wetzel, Walter's grandson, is advocating for the logo to adorn throwback jerseys or be used in another way. What I'm demanding is straightforward: that the new team leadership in the NFL sit down with the Wetzel family, sit down with the Blackfeet, sit down with the tribal leaders, and find a way to properly honor the history and the logo and heritage of our tribal nations, and to rededicate the organization as an advocate for Indian country. Daines plans to say, according to prepared remarks, or else Daines will oppose the bill. The powerful senator can single-handedly block the bill in the National Park Subcommittee.
Do your freaking homework. He's so busy trying to get clicks and to get likes, to get votes, to get people on his side that he hasn't been paying attention. The organization has already been reaching out to these people because they're trying to figure out a way to do it. There is no coincidence that your boy wore the W with the two feathers on it.
That's a fire-ass shirt, though. That's a great shirt.
Oh, and honestly, I ain't trying to make nobody else rich because it's some dude a fan that sent it to him, and I ain't just trying to put money in his coffers, but I might have to because I loved it myself, honestly. But like this is what I hate about our politics right now. It's the same thing that that the young lady down in Virginia did to block the Wizards vote. It's like you got your personal agenda, you put your personal agenda in front of everything else. I thought this was a democracy. I thought we all got to vote and figure things out. I didn't think we had to sit in the room and if you feel a certain way, we all got to acquiesce to your feelings. You know what I'm saying? While you wax poetically about the things that are going on, we just got to sit there, say yes, say some amens, maybe throw a collection plate around or whatever it's got to be, and just satiate your happiness. No, that's not our thing. That's not how democracy works. We put stuff to votes. We vote. We don't block it. We vote on it. But the problem is this dude has this thing where he doesn't even know, and I guarantee you he doesn't know, that the commanders have been reaching out to Ryan Wetzel, Weitzel, whatever the young man's name is, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful because I don't want to say it incorrectly. They've been reaching out to him. They've been having negotiations. They've been having talks. Because if he would paid attention, he would have heard that they're going to have a Redskins Hall of Fame. So you think they're going to have a Redskins Hall of Fame without the logo in the Hall of Fame? You think they're going to honor the past and not have the past represented in the Hall of Fame? So what you're doing all this is for show. This is Republican WWE coming out to the ring, and if tonight you're in Sioux Falls, Missouri, or whatever, what you say? This is a great night to be in Sioux Falls, Missouri. The crowd goes crazy, and that's it. This is baseless, this is pointless, and this is just another way that shows that our system is messed up from a political standpoint. That we allow these people to handcuff the actual rights of the system. I thought we had checks and balances. Right now, we just got checks. We ain't got no balances. I'm sorry. I digress.
Boss BJ, you got anything to add to that?
No, I'm going to listen to you guys. What you got, KG? I know you got some.
Oh, of course. And you know how much I love it Duval Paul checking in. This is a time he should stay in his lane. I love it. Love it. Now, you gentlemen know, especially BJ, you know how much I love the city. First 6 years of my life were spent in Northeast DC. And growing up, everything was Redskins from birth. Everything's always been Redskins. For somebody from Montana to say what we should do, or you're going to block a redevelopment of a site that we need to have redeveloped. We need to have it redeveloped since the Nats left, actually. But the site needs to be redeveloped. To say that you're going to block it because you don't know the inner workings of what's going on. I said something in our group when I posted this, and I feel this is true when it comes to things that are going on inside of the District of Columbia, inside DC, inside the city. If you ain't from the city, keep your mouth off the city. Don't worry about what the city's doing if you ain't from here. Don't speak on our business. This ain't business of yours. Your constituents are in Montana. Worry about them. Don't worry about what we doing here. This is us. This is ours. We can rule and we can govern ourselves here. We know what's good for us. You know nothing about these streets. You know nothing about this. If you think you know anything about it, I would love to see you go over in Southeast, not the gentrified side, and talk that mess. See what happened to you over there. But this ain't your fight. This is nothing to do with you. Like Duval Paul said, stay in your lane, Senator. Leave it alone. Let them work. They're trying to work and run a business. You are meddling. And your meddling might mess up this whole entire deal and mess everything up. And the people of DC that actually want this stadium and want this redevelopment plan of some sort will never forgive you for that. And some people like to go to the polls and show how much they're unwilling to forgive you. So be careful what you say, because you could lose that seat very, very quickly. You're not a DC resident. Don't speak on what we do here in DC. Duval Paul said, tell it to the horses. I digress. Gentlemen, if this comes down to this vote and this particular senator decides to block everything,
I just don't understand how. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand the politics of how you can block something when there's 100 of you and you're one man. I just don't get it. And if that happens, then I need to go back to what's my man, that little thing? I'm just a bill.
I'm only a bill sitting up on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I need to figure that out, man, because this is crazy. This is ludicrous. Because it's like he's talking from a point of ignorance because he's acting like nothing's happening, but they're actually doing what he's asking them to do. He's just being impatient and wants the limelight on him. It's like your intentions are misguided because you want the show to be about you. It can't all be about you. Every word in this song can't be about you. Every word in this song be about you. I don't know which version you were singing, because there's like 6 versions of that at least that I can think of. Well, there's Janet Jackson is like a Prince. I think there's a. Never mind. I'm in the wormhole. Go ahead. Let's close this out.
Give me a NHL update. What you got as far as the series of the NHL and who's leading what? What we got? What we looking at?
So I mean, we got the Rangers. Like I told you earlier, they're up 3-2, but right now Carolina's leading the game itself. Game 6. Tonight we got 2-2 between Edmonton and Vancouver. So we get to figure out who takes the lead or takes the advantage in that. Florida's up 3-2 on Boston, and Dallas is up 3-2 on Colorado. Simplest way to do it, because I know we up against the clock.
All right. Time to wrap that ish up. Something real quick. BJ said something about it, and he said something about Vince Carter getting his number retired in Brooklyn.
Oh God.
When do we get that at point? I mean, has his number been retired in Toronto?
This is y'all conversation.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's been retired in Toronto. I can definitely understand that, but the whole Nets thing, like I said, we going through a little period where everybody's having a tribute video, everybody's getting their number retired, and I just don't see why Vince Carter in New Jersey is getting his number retired, or Brooklyn now. So
I don't understand it myself. I mean, he was on one of those finals teams, and maybe two of them, but they didn't. When you think about the Nets, whether it's the New York Nets, the New Jersey Nets, or the Brooklyn Nets, I don't associate that with Vince Carter. I can understand Jason Kidd. I can understand, of course, Dr. J, Drazen Petrovic. I can understand Buck Williams. I mean, if you really want to go back, I can understand Bernard King if you want. But Vince Carter before Derek Coleman? I would put Chris Morris before Vince Carter. Just a thought. But this is I don't understand. I don't get why everybody doesn't deserve to have their number retired in every city they played in. It makes no sense. That's like the Wizards saying they're going to retire Jordan's 23. I think that would be a dumb idea.
they're gonna end up retiring Bill's 3.
I think that would be a dumb idea. What did he do here? Being honest. Gentlemen?
I have no comment.
That's all I got, because like I said, we already said, we already said our piece on it. So congratulations, Vince.
Give me your cup, Ryan.
I guess.
I'm not. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I don't get it, but that's just my thoughts. So, final thoughts, gentlemen, before we roll out of here, because we really up against it now.
Oh no, let's just go and get out, bro.
Those were the final thoughts.
Okay. So, for the boss BJ, for the Midnight Rider, I'm the big guy KG. Hopefully WrestleManiacs be up Saturday. This trio right here will see you on Sunday morning. Until then,
Thursday sucks.
It does not.
You know what it is? He's still a new guy.
Yeah, he's a FNG. That's what he is.
Fucking ooh.
Don't worry. It'll grow on you. Don't worry about it. So, for the boss BJ, for the Midnight Rider, I'm the big guy KG. Thank you for joining us tonight, because we did some overtime. But we are out of here.